Hey there, Shooby Doodlers. How are you doing? Well, I posted a short on YouTube this week about building my SLS Artemis demonstration rocket, which I've made to help promote my book, Generation Moon. And I had a comment from Mostly Love Music who asked, I'm curious about what motivated you to go to that level of effort when you could simply have just written a book and nothing more. That is a very good point. So there are two things going on here. And the first thing is that this is a marketing prop, so that if I went to visit schools, libraries, things like that, I could get kids come up on stage and help me kind of pretend and sort of act out the whole moon mission from Earth to the moon and everything like that. And we got this prop that we can play with, and it needs to be big enough you can see it from the back of the hall. It needs to be strong enough that if kids just drop it and do things, it's not going to break. If it was made out of cardboard, it would just fall to bits quite quickly. It needs to be strong enough to be able to transport it from one venue to another. So that is sort of why it is as big as it is, why it is as finished as it is. But then there is the other reason. As my faithful viewers will know, my mother died at the end of January, and thank you so much for all your sort of kind thoughts and wishes and prayers. It's like being sort of hit on the side of a head with a lead-filled sock. My mother was 97, so she'd lived a good life, and she lived with me and my family. She has her own little flat at the back of the house. And so, you know, I sort of looked after her. I popped in to see her and sort of sorted things out. And she'd always said, I'm going to live to 100, you know. So in my head, I just assumed she was going to carry on for at least another 3 years. And that my life and my routine would carry on pretty much the same for the next 3 years. I imagine that she would probably, you know, be going downhill a bit towards 100, and that I would probably have to be doing a bit more work to help her over the next 3 years. But I got that all safely in my head, and then bang, suddenly that's all finished. That whole future has gone. Add on the top of that, there's a lot to sort out, and which I kind of have to take over and do. There's funerals, all sorts of things going on. And suddenly making this rocket became my little thing. I just didn't feel like doing work anymore. And I didn't feel like drawing. I didn't feel like doing stuff, really. So I could go to my shed and start building this thing, sort of over-engineering it a little bit more than I'd expected and intended to. It just kept on throwing up problems. I think, how am I going to do that? How am I going to? And it's like each stage of the rocket. I think, how am I going to build that? Oh, I'm going to do that, and then, oh, how am I going to fit the next stage in? All along the way, little problems coming up, and I was kind of solving these problems. So I'd be cleaning my teeth and go, and then I suddenly go, oh, I just worked out how to fit the intermittent cryogenic propulsion stage to the main core of the body. And Mrs. Rayner would go, that's nice, dear. And she's been saying that a lot. There has become a little thing where every day I could just go into the shed and do a little bit to sort of bring the rocket on a little bit and make it bigger and better and finish it to, well, it's quite a high standard for a stage prop. Now, after 2 months, I'm still kind of got my mojo back. And I should do, shouldn't I? Because I have done videos on how to get your mojo back. But what has happened is my whole routine, my whole vision of the future has kind of just altered. And has been altered for me, rather, I should say. It's trying to work out what to do next. And I'm at a stage where I feel I don't want to just keep on doing the same old thing, but I'm not sure what I do want to keep on doing. So in the meantime, I have to sort of just keep on doing things to keep going. But I feel there's a kind of a bigger plan in there somewhere. That eventually the clouds will part and I'll go, right. The practical answer to Mostly Love Music's question is, If you're going to do something creative, there are two ways you can go. You can do it for yourself, for a personal kind of thing, and it doesn't matter if anybody sees it. You can just hide it away and go, well, I made that, and you can be happy knowing that you made it and it's for you. Or you do it, well, there's three ways. Or you do it for someone in particular, and then you hope they're going to like it. Or you do it as a job, and that's kind of what I'm used to doing. This is what I've been doing all these years. So when I create something, I'm really creating it in the hope that it will generate an income that will allow me to keep doing more creative things. It's a kind of a virtual cycle. And that means that at some stage you have to hand something over to the audience or the readers or however you want to think of them, and they will hand you back dollar bills, pound notes, whatever. That's the exchange, and that's what you need to do to be able to be a professional full-time creative. It's a cycle. That's how it works. So if you sit in your shed or your attic or your bedroom creating something, people are not going to come and find you. You have to let them know you exist and that your work exists. And you need to kind of enthuse them a little bit. You have to sell it. It's selling is not kind of about tricking people. Selling is about enthusing people. And it's really sort of digging in to find out what it is that they want and filling that space so that they go, oh, this is what I've always wanted. And, oh, let me get my wallet out and pay you for it. So they're happy to hand over money and you're happy to receive it so that you can go and create something else. So that's selling, but marketing is about the kind of the show of the whole thing, really. And the putting it out and saying, look, here, this is what I have done. This is what I have to sell. This is what I'm bringing to the market stall. And when people come by, putting it out in the market stall, that's marketing. When people come by, you have to go, whoa, madam, can I show you this? Can I interest you in this product, this piece of work that I've done? And then you've got the spiel, you've got the little extras. Well, I can throw in a badge, I can throw in an extra bookmark, something like that. And those are the marketing bits. Incentives and excitements. So that's kind of what it's all about. But partly what this has really all been about for me, why I've put so much effort in, is just to get through to the next day and just to keep going, just to do something and keep busy. And also, I suppose I'm a little bit maybe on the ADHD spectrum, so it's that focus thing that happens with it. Once I got my teeth into it, you got to keep going. There are some projects which I know this is a waste of time and I will just drop them, which surprises other people. Think, but how can you just do that? How can you drop that? Because I know it's not worth carrying on and I've lost interest. But there are other projects which I know I really have to finish this. This needs to be finished, and if I don't finish, it'll be bad for my personal kind of ness. I need to finish it to prove that I can do it, and if I don't finish this, then I'll probably maybe not finish the next thing, and then it becomes a habit. Things become habits very, very quickly, and not finishing things can become a habit very quickly. So sometimes you just have to keep going to finish something so that then you can get on to the next thing knowing that's finished, it's done, I did my best, now let's move on, rather than going, I didn't quite finish that, but never mind, let's see what we can do with this, and then get a bit bored with that. And it's about resilience, I suppose. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed to the Huion Drawing channel for lots more weird stuff like this. In the meantime, keep drawing, and making stuff. I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye-bye.